Good morning, Josephine. How are you? In your heart, you may have a dislike for a certain child, but you force yourself to say, "Good morning, Manuel. How you doing?" My name is Rose Hoffman. I teach 3rd grade. At 9:15, we start with arithmetic. I have tables fun on the board. Multiplication. You don't say tables, you say tables fun. Everything has to be fun, fun, fun. Then we have a penmanship lesson. There it is in my beautiful handwriting. I have a Palmer Method diploma. I tell my kids, Mrs. Hoffman's here, everybody works. Working is a blessing. But I don't give them assignments over their heads. I don't tell them the reasons for things. I give them the rope method. This is very boring and very monotonous, but habit is a great thing for these kids. They adore it. Habit. They love habit. I like to be sure my room is clean, the desks well organized. I like uniformity. I love straight lines. But the neighborhood is changing, and the type of child is changing too. Now I have 32 in my class. There's about 23 Spanish. I have maybe 2 little Appalachians. The poor Appalachians, they don't get the special attention the other children get. Their names aren't Spanish. My heart breaks for them. In the old days, you had 18 to 20 children who stayed in your classroom from the beginning bell to the very end. Today, the child comes in and leaves for computer lab, art therapy, teaching English as a second language. I'm shocked that English is the second language. When my parents came over, I didn't learn Jewish as a first language at the taxpayer's expense. The Polish didn't learn Polish as a first language. Oh yes, I've seen great changes since I began teaching in 1959. January 6th, 1959. My students then were Polish primarily. I loved the Polish people. They worked hard. We had 2 colored families, but they were sweet. Of course, back then we had the paddle. That was very effective. I believe in corporal punishment. It builds respect and trust. My classroom was always a showcase. In those days we did it ourselves, with colorful pictures and charts on the wall, a snowman in winter, a pumpkin in fall, and all my supplies were in neat little piles on the shelf. My children were always respectful. If the principal came, they would rise. If I had to leave them a minute or 2, they always found something constructive to do, and all of them sat in their places according to size. But kids don't know how to behave anymore. Ask them to rise and they'll ask you what for. We confiscate weapons and drugs at the door. No spitballs and comic books now. They want me to teach in a classroom like that, but nobody tells me how. I made a big thing about spelling, but they learned by the time I was through. If they copied the words till they knew them by heart, 10 times for the dumb ones and twice for the smart, and gold stars were given to those who wrote sentences too. But why bother teaching them spelling today? Nobody knows how to read, by the way. Why bother spelling what you can't even say? It's say habla español now. The way I've been teaching for 40-some years is no longer effective, or so it appears. Well, damn it, it worked for me then, so what's wrong with it now? They say I'm supposed to keep up with the times, but nobody ever tells me how. years of teaching. My favorite, Pam. She was special. She wasn't very bright, but she was never any trouble either. I see her every once in a while. She's a checker over at the Treasure Island supermarket. She gives no trouble today either. She has the same smile for everyone.
There isn't a thing you don't want that isn't in this store, from soda pop to a genuine